2019 Ram heavy duties. Do they now have manual regeneration? I don't know. But this screenshot right here, it's actually from a YouTube video from Alex on Autos. He did this little review a couple days ago. And I was watching the video and I noticed when you watch this video at about 13 minutes, 59 seconds in, he's scrolling through the dash information center. And this pops up, diesel particulate filter. Obviously to status, you see 0 to 100%. Obviously Ram included a DPF status screen, but does this mean they also offer manual regeneration? I want to know. I'm curious, why hasn't the mainstream truck enthusiast, YouTube reviewer, people, whatever, why haven't they asked the hard questions? Instead of pandering to the manufacturers, oh yeah, this is great, obviously you get paid to say these things, why don't you ask the hard questions like, what has changed in terms of the exhaust system? What has changed in how you conduct regeneration? What has changed in how much EGR is pumped back into the engine? Because I noticed on the 19 Ram Cummins diesels, the EGR valve is different. What has changed? Is regeneration still an in-cylinder, in-engine cycle burn-off? Whereas GM offers a 9th injector. Is Ram still doing the in-cylinder design? Is Ford still going to do the in-cylinder design? Like, why don't they ask these questions? I don't understand. Okay? When these trucks, particularly oil-filled trucks, electrical trucks, commercial trucks, a lot of times these trucks are idling a lot. Like, you'll get more idle hours than you will driving hours. So if I'm on a job site, let's say repairing a electrical line, and the truck is sitting idling for hours, right? And the truck needs to go into a regen, I don't have time to take the truck out and drive 45 minutes to conduct a regeneration. It's better if I can do a manual regeneration, not just for commercial trucks, but this should be available across all classes of pickup trucks, from 2500, 3500 and up, from the base model all the way up to the highest trim level. Ford offers that. 2017, you've seen some of my videos where I own a 17 King Ranch, and it offers OCR where I can conduct a manual regeneration in a parking lot. Great, love it, because the reality is I can't go drive 45 minutes to conduct a regeneration. Like, that's ridiculous. So is this now a feature? Please, some of you mainstream truck enthusiast people ask these questions like TFL Truck, Mr. Truck, Big Truck, Big RV. By the way, I love your channel. Much more informative than the other channels. You get straight to the point. No fancy, whatever. Like, great, love it. And some of these other ones, like this video is from Alex on Autos. And, I'm going to go to the beginning here. So you can see he's talking about,
here in Nevada, taking a look at the 2019.
He's talking about, their 19 trucks, and he goes through and he talks about the interior like everyone else, the 12-inch screen, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, it's great. Like, I mean, let's give high props because I'm being paid a lot of money to make this video for Ram. But one thing that when he goes into the gauge cluster and he starts going through, like, let's take a look.
Digital speedometer. This display is also where they put additional gauge readouts like coolant temperature, transmission temperature, oil pressure, etc. They also have a boost.
Boom. Diesel particulate filter status. Like, this is amazing. Like, if Ram offers a manual regeneration in their, regular consumer pickup truck model classes, that's huge. It's great. Great. But please, you bigger YouTube channel people, ask the hard questions. What has changed? What's different? How is regeneration being conducted? Like, how much EGR is being pumped back into the engine? Now, we know it's 25%, but we also know that Ram reduced the amount of EGR going back into the engine because they have SCR. So what is the difference now for the 2019 going forward? I noticed the layout of the exhaust system is also a little bit different. So what's changed? Please. Ask the hard questions. Ask the hard questions about like maintenance, getting to the oil filter. I noticed Ram in the 19 model and newer, they have a hole, a spot that's cut out from the cross member that's directly under the engine that they put in 2014. Because prior to 2014, or 2013, you could reach up, grab the oil filter from under the truck, and remove it. In 2013, when they went to the redesign or the refresh, whatever, they put a cross member there, and then from then on, you had to go through the fender or go over the top of the engine and remove all the air filter housing stuff to get to the oil filter. Super like that, really irritating. Why would you do that? I noticed on these new ones, there's a hole cut out in the cross member. So is that hole big enough so that you can make maintenance easier by reaching up and grabbing the oil filter and removing it from underneath the truck? Did you go back to that design? Like, I really hope so. How come you guys don't ask these questions instead of pandering to them and saying, "Oh, this is great, 12-inch screen, infotainment system, great." We track and all, track and all. We know that Ram's interior infotainment system is the best, the best. Okay, tracking. Ask the hard questions. I challenge you, TFL, Mr. Truck, Big Truck, Big RV. Again, love your channel. And some of these other mainstream truck channels. I challenge you to ask the hard questions. Give us the information. That's what some of us want to know. Regeneration, that's huge. You need to understand how that process is going forward. Because again, not everyone, there's a small percentage of truck buyers who actually use these trucks to do hot shot and tow every day. Almost like, the average person is not towing a 35,000-pound load every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year for decades and decades and decades, where they can get those exhaust temperatures up to heat temperature to burn off the exhaust. The average driver, person like myself who has an RV, will tow that RV typically during the summer. But for the rest of the months, particularly when it's cold and you're driving slow and you have to do slow speeds, I can't always go on the highway 45 minutes in the snow to burn off the diesel particulate filter. That's why I went to Ford in 2017, because they offered a manual regeneration process, OCR. Love it. Great. I can do regeneration in the parking lot. Love it. It's great. You guys are the ones that need to ask the hard questions, because little old me, you think Ford, Ram, GM are going to be like, "Oh, let me answer this one person's question because we don't care." They're not going to, but you guys should be asking the hard questions instead of pandering to them and saying, good job, pat you on the back, now where's my money? Instead of doing that, why don't you ask the hard questions? Ask the engineers the hard questions. I challenge you.